Residents anxious over planned 4-month partial closure on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar calls for probe of alleged secret burials of 1,000 soldiers killed by Boko Haram. On the international scene, U.S.-China trade war heats up again as China vows to retaliate against new Trump tariffs. And in sport, 10,000 participants from more than 100 countries expected at 7th Military World Games.
This is ANN News.
I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Lagos and Ogun residents living around the Lagos-Ogun border at Berger have expressed anxiety over the planned 4-month partial closure of a section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The section of the highway in the Berger-Kara axis will be shut down for repairs from tomorrow, Saturday, until the end of October. Residents complained the work could affect free flow of traffic during the week-long convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God that kicks off on Monday. They also pointed out that many Muslims would be traveling during the celebration of the Muslim festival of Eid al-Kabir. But the permanent secretary in the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, Taiwo Salam, says adequate plans are in place for free flow of traffic during the rehabilitation work. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has appealed to residents of the town of Jakana to stop collaborating with insurgents. Jakana was attacked by Boko Haram terrorists on Tuesday. The governor visited the community and said the government faces a challenge of moles among the residents who collaborate with the terrorists. Governor Zulum says the state government and the military will guarantee safety for insurgents who are willing to surrender for de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration into the society. During the attack on Tuesday, insurgents had abducted 2 persons and stole food items. Just a week ago, the insurgents had killed more than 60 miners in Badu village. And former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is calling for a probe of a report in the Wall Street Journal newspaper in the U.S. that the military had secretly buried 1,000 soldiers killed by Boko Haram in Maiduguri. The military high command had dismissed the story as untrue. It says the writer of the story lacks knowledge of military values, ethos, and traditions and treatment of fallen heroes. But Atiku Abubakar has demanded a probe to ascertain the true state of the anti-terrorism war. He called for the inauguration of an independent judicial commission of inquiry headed by a non-partisan and reputable jurist to investigate the efficacy of the Wall Street Journal story. Atiku also calls for the declaration of a state of emergency and the appointment of a panel of inquiry of former military officers to investigate and report on the true state of the war on terror. The international community has always recognized and praised the ingenuity of the Nigerian mind. Most Nigerians and foreign education institutions are respected for their brilliance. Nigerians demonstrate this ingenuity even at home, just like youngster who had ventured into manufacturing drones locally. Deji Badmus brings us his story.
Getting ready to test fly his drone. Draped in Nigerian and British national flags, Benjamin built this drone from scratch, using mainly locally fabricated materials. All set and ready, Benjamin pilots his drone into the sky. Pictures taken from way up in the sky have distinct aesthetic qualities, like this one which captures a stunning view of the Abuja metropolis. He's been doing this for 6 years now, so he knows exactly what sensors get his aerial vehicle in motion. An estate surveyor by training, the self-trained drone maker explains how a mere hobby led him to become the pioneer of drone piloting and making in Nigeria.
I love to do things myself. I'm one of those DIY freaks. So I'm good with my hands and I have a background of electronics and electrical systems. My dad used to be an electrical engineer. So I went online and because basically most of the things I know today, apart from the career path I took in school. I learned almost everything I know today online.
Benjamin's office is an engine room, essentially where everything happens. He spends hours here assembling and fastening parts of the drone together with local materials in preparation for any outing or shoot.
Everything you see here was bootstrapped by me. I put a lot of funds into this project. So after 2016, without getting encouragement from any source, I stepped down, because that was when government came and said that they were banning drones. And in fact, at the point, they even said we should deliver our drones to the local authorities.
As it is for many local manufacturers, there's also a challenge for drone makers. In his case, it is the licensing and lack of recognition by the government.
I'd like giving up the art of building drones, because there was really nothing coming from it, and the government has banned the use of drones in Nigeria without licensing. Licensing you can never get, even when you apply. So more recently, I was invited by the British High Commission to come and exhibit at the Queen's birthday, which held in their residence in Abuja. So I built a drone for the exhibition with recycled materials, almost entirely recycled materials. I built it with wood, I built it with styrofoam and plastic bowl, sorry. You know, just to show them that yes, there's a talent to it, you know, and the drone actually flies. It's not just for showcase.
With no funding and still not being able to secure a license, Benjamin is on the verge of completely giving up on his passion of making drones. He wants the government to at least relax some of the regulations on drones for people like him as a means of promoting made in Nigeria brands.
You are watching ANN.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.